Don't run, just wait and you will see that we are just meant to be. It's only you and I. Don't you lose sight of what. Hi guys, you're very welcome to my channel. My name is Joanita, and for those who are watching for the first time, I'm so glad to have you along on my writing journey. At this point, I don't think anyone is really watching and I want to tell you why that's a good thing. For anyone who sees this on later, they shouldn't think that like, I don't know how attractive it might be for some people, but the whole point of this is that I'm able to document the process and I'm able to stay committed. So as I speak right now, I don't think anyone even watches these videos, and that's completely fine. However, I do want to forecast in my mind that at a point there will be people who are needing to listen to someone as they go through this process, as they also try to go through this process. So that's why I say hi guys, and that's why I know at some point someone might be watching this for reference. So you're very welcome. This is my third week, and it's been a really cool, interesting, dynamic week as opposed to the weeks before. The weeks before I was indoors, and a lot of the time I was also spending my time basically studying and trying to pick up on some skills before I actually get into the writing process. But as I said last week, this week I was going to commit myself to writing. That hasn't been easy at all. It really hasn't. First of all, it started off with me learning about adjectives in the course. I believe the course is about to end in a few weeks, and so I was learning about adjectives, and adjectives is probably one of the sticky areas that I am a criminal at at over describing, and yeah, and so I learned about that this week. And before I just get into my own experience, now looking back, I'll just play for you guys some of the footage that I took in the process of learning about adjectives and writing. As I said, I wanted to give myself the exercise of writing and starting to write, and it just coincides with the course because currently it's on adjectives and when is it appropriate to use adjectives. So I'm trying to write, and historically in my past writing, I've been one of those people who overuses adjectives, and a friend of mine called it she called it what? She called it like prune, something like pruning or something. But the sense that it kind of sucks out all the oxygen out of a story because you've spent most of the time describing things and just trying to make it as vivid as possible for the writer, that you lose movement and you lose pace, just basically kill the story and make it really boring. So that's one of the things I'm trying to avoid in my process this week. It's really, really challenging, and what I'm doing is trying to read over previous works, like literature and different prose that I love, and I love the way they tell the stories. I'm trying to see how the writers really maintain appropriate use of adjectives without boring their readers. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Before I kick off my story, because I just don't want to repeat some of the mistakes that I've been making previously.
And I'll put on my Venus boots somewhere in California, but it might as well be the moon. Say yes, say yes, say yes.
So that was this week. And it's been really it's been really fun just to brainstorm and come up with ideas. I had such a great time, moving to Ginger, because I had to go out to Ginger for some work. And the process of traveling for me personally always is just like fertile ground to ideate and to think and to look and to observe and to listen. Like there's so much going on in terms of experience that like immediately my mind starts like spewing out ideas. So yeah, that was that was really a cool experience in terms of beginning to write a story. Yeah, that was really, really, really cool. Yeah, I had a great time, and I'll be sharing with you guys details of what I'm going to be writing, because I've actually settled on a story that I want to tell. It is going to be based partially on truth, on a real person's experience, although it's also going to be fictionalized. I already have the title. The title is called Blood for Beans. And when you like settled on a title and you feel so excited, that's how I feel about this. So yeah, hopefully all should go well. When you're describing, you're really, really trying to like pull out imagery and emotion. Sometimes isn't really necessary. You're kind of you're distracting the reader in a way. So that was a huge lesson for me, and I'm gonna keep practicing that sort of awareness. So finally, by the end of this week, I was able to sit down and write my short experience of something that I have been so proud of in the past, which is learning how to ride a bicycle, which I did by myself. I really did. But I just used that experience to get myself into the habit of writing. As I brainstorm and I think of ideas for my story, I wanted to still practice. So yeah, overall it's been a cool week. I think yeah, I'm just going to carry on doing what I've been trying to do, which is sit down, read authors who I like, really focusing on how they're forming their sentences, how they're using their nouns, their verbs, and their adjectives, and then using the other part of the week to try and sit down and build out my story. Now that I have a story, I feel compelled to really tell it the best way I can. This is also someone's story, so I feel responsible in a way to Thank you guys for joining me. Keep writing, keep dreaming, keep learning. Thank you from Kampala. Good night.